MAGA is stupid on purpose, and I wish everybody would just stop blaming them. I am not MAGA. I am a disillusioned Democrat, so I don't really know what I am, but I'm definitely not MAGA. But I did grow up in MAGA country, deep red Republican state. Let me just say that the Republican education system in rural America, red states, is absolutely terrible. And because they're so rural, they can really do anything they want and say anything they want, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So you end up getting what you get, and you should be thankful you get that. The reason why I could say this with such certainty is because I am a product of a Republican state education system, and I know that I am not as bright as I could be. Thank God the internet came along, and ever since I got that in my pudgy little hands, I have been educating myself. Any question I have, I look it up. Anything I ever want to know, it's all right there in the palm of my hand, a world of knowledge. So I never stopped learning because there's just so much out there. Wonderful world that we live in. And, reading fantasy books and like I wanted science books, I wanted math books, but a lot of people that I grew up with did not, and they were just happy to grab their guns and go out in the woods and shoot stuff and kill anything that moved, and vote Republican and eventually fall under Trump's spell. Thank God I had left that area before that happened. But Republicans were my friends and family for most of my life. I may have thought differently than they did, but we were still family and friends. And it upsets me when I see everybody on the internet just totally taking jabs and being so mean to something that do you really think somebody wants to be this stupid? Do you really think that they did this to themselves on purpose? Do you think that they actually made the choices to not be smart and educated? Come on, guys. Like, you think you're so superior, you think you're so smart, but you cannot accept that our government, the American government, Ronald Reagan started the war against education back in the 60s when he saw that he could not control educated people who knew their rights. So he started a war on education and started taking money away from it. That's where the tuitions for the colleges came in, and that's when they decided to start choosing who was allowed to go to college and who was not, right? They do not want the poor and the dumb to have anything to do except make corporations money. Be smart enough to do the job, but not smart enough to question what's going on around you. And that's exactly what they got. And half of our country is just dismissing the true facts that they would never choose this. Be logical. Come on. Be logical. Be smart. They would never choose to be this dumb, to be used as a weapon, as a tool. No American would ever choose to destroy their planet because of their own stupidity. Like, they wouldn't do that. And why would you think they would? It just, if you're going to be so smart, then be smart. Be logical about this. They didn't plan this. They didn't want this. They were victims from our own government. Our government did this to them. And we have to suffer for it. Yes, we all do. Right? Imagine if the government's plan had worked on everybody, but it worked on just enough to actually get their agenda into motion. Just like it took a long time for them to get to take away Roe versus Wade. They have been working at this stuff for an entire generation, since when I was born. Okay, so all this stuff has been happening slowly over time for 50 years. Gen X, millennials, Zoomers, and here we are, 3 generations later, and we now have enough stupid people in this country. Because do you really think that these millionaires want us controlling what they do? And they don't want us, and especially not poor people. How dare the poor people tell the rich people what they want and then expect it by voting for it? You know, like, they do not. They want to control us any way they can. They took away our education. They're forcing religion down our throats, which is another form of control. Guys, what's coming up next? Martial law, right? He's winding up for that. So, like, I can't express enough how important it is to stop blaming these people for being stupid, because it is not their fault. They know not what they've done. But you do. And instead of being compassionate and understanding, you cannot just kick your fellow Americans because they happen to be in the worst place at the worst time and they didn't get educated. Like, some of it is legit scary. But you know what? Not for nothing. Some of the things that I see coming out of Gen Z is unbelievably uneducated. So our education system is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And if we don't stop blaming how stupid people are, we're never going to get through this. All right? Like, I have no idea how to reach out to these people. I have no idea how to help them find the truth. Believe me, I do not. But I am not willing to kick them when they're down. Like, I am not willing to just give up on half of America just because they didn't get educated the way they should have. It's not right. And we are better than that. We are the United States of America. They're allowed to have different opinions, all right? They have to stop shoving it down our throat. That's something that they have to learn. We can all have different opinions and still love each other, all right? So please, I'm just asking everybody, just think twice before you start calling them stupid. And I have my moments too. You can get frustrated with that. And, you know, sometimes I understand that we can lash out in a weak moment. But for the most part, people, let's keep it civil, all right? And just remember that they are victims. They are tools. They are now being used as weapons. And they did not choose this. But this is where they are. This is how their life went. It's up to us on how we handle it. Pushing them away, getting angry with them, that is not how we are going to come together again. That is just going to keep driving us further and further away from each other. And if we are going to survive these political years, we can't do that. We have to stop fighting each other. All right, the government has got one hell of a wedge in between us, and we have to figure out how to get around it. Okay? Thanks for listening, guys. I know maybe I rambled a little bit. I tried not to repeat myself too much. But I want to thank everybody for sticking around, listening to what I have to say. Thank you for your like. Thank you for your view. Thank you for your subscription. And I will hopefully see you in the comments or in the next video. Thanks. Bye.